Anyway. Imagine having the fucking choice. This actually shows that we can go faster, but at normal times they take their sweet time, like how the DMV works. We have been making a COVID vaccine for years with older COVID, so it's not new science. I know. The variant that impacts humans is new, though. Super fucked when we're the shitty spoiled kid in school that won't eat the regular school lunch, where the rest of the school is just starving. Yeah. I hate that, like, being a Republican is synonymous with like misinformation that causes uh potentially further death and destruction down the line. It's disgusting. I have nothing on it, dude. Yeah, if you're a Chinese communist or an Iranian mullah or Kim Jong Un, would this scare you? We've come a long way from Jason Bourne. Yeah, this basically reveals Ted Cruz's opinion on the CIA. That the CIA should be a scary fucking organization that deals in death, which it is, by the way. It's more honest. I don't know why the fuck he thinks it's like Jason Bourne. What a fucking idiot. Oh God, I can't believe this person is like a literal fucking senator, dude. God, Texas. God, it just. Lol, the woke CI video is so funny. I know. I thought it was hilarious. I talked about it yesterday. You don't know what you're talking about? If you spent any time reading alternative media like 4chan, then you would understand this topic much, much better. Understand what topic? The fucking moronic. Oh, he's fucking baiting. You can't take a vaccine that makes people gay, he said. Anyway. Alternative media such as 4chan. Yeah, it's just like the entirety of the fucking pinnacle of scientific achievement and accomplishments versus one fucking weirdo with a phone. Like, who wins? Oh, it's the weirdo that with the phone that wins. Like, anybody can make like misinformation threads. It's great. I love that. This aged well. What is this? I don't care about this. The Chapo Boys covered it. I actually was just listening to them before I started my broadcast, and their coverage was pretty funny. I agree with Felix 100% on it. I talked about this yesterday. I'm surprised that my editors didn't clip that out and posted it, as a matter of fact. But yeah, this video is dumb as fuck. I talked about like how the CIA is like incorporating like woke language into their sales pitch. Who gives a fuck? Like, nobody should be looking at the CIA and being like, my criticisms of the CIA is that their war crimes are not being committed by like an intersectional group of individuals that make up the that are that have disabilities and shit like that. Okay. Oh, they posted it on the Daily Dose. Daily Dose already posted it. What the fuck? Oh no, never mind. It just came out actually. What the fuck? Oh god damn, my editors are quick as fuck. This holy shit, never mind. I was wrong. It already has 144,000 views, dude. I was wrong, boys. Sorry. God damn, dude. In the UAE, 109% is vaccinated but can't even play football. What? 109%? Apologies to who made this. Yeah, apologies to Will Barker. Okay, so as I was saying, as far as the fucking idiotic like update on this, or I've already talked about this, but like people should not be upset about the CIA not being intersectional. You're spreading misinformation by saying people who are on the fence about the vaccine aren't getting it because of inconvenience. A heavy subject with a lot of factors to weigh in on. The pressure doesn't help the cause. If you genuinely want more people to get the vaccine, calm discussion might, but that's just in my opinion. What? Did I say it's because of inconvenience? I said inconvenience is one factor to tackle because ultimately people are on the fence, and creating a system in which people are inconvenienced if they don't get the fucking vaccine will get some of those people to actually go out and get the vaccine. You said it was due to availability? No, okay, as is the case with every single problem, there are a multitude of different problems. Okay? If I'm tackling one aspect of the maybes, if I'm tackling one aspect of the issue, I'm specifically talking about that aspect of the issue. There's plenty of people who are just fucking completely delusional and have lost the plot and are refusing to take the vaccine. We don't need them. Luckily, all we need is people who are on the fence, who are fence sitting. Some of those people who are on the fence because they're inconvenienced. Some of those are on the fence because they do not have access to the vaccine. All of those need to be addressed. And then some of them are on the fence because they've been blinded by the misinformation. Tired of pandering to soft anti-vaxxers, don't want to be called out publicly. Shame on them. Facts don't care about your feelings. I mean, yeah. Straight up. What do you think about incentivizing them with money? Sure. Give them fucking money. Who cares? I just literally want. I said availability is a solvable problem. Yes, I did say that. I said availability is a solvable problem. It's an issue that you can address because it's a logistical hurdle, okay? The issues that you can address as far as hesitancy goes is misinformation. It's harder to tackle and combat misinformation, especially when people have already been fucking radicalized. That's a giant issue. You know what's not an issue, though? Not seeing any of the ads at the top of the hour, especially if you have a subscription here. Because at the top of the hour, I run a 60-second ad break. All right? Now, if you no longer want to see those ads, there is a thing that you can do, and that is subscribing. You can do it for $5, or you can do it for free by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account. You get one free Prime subscription a month. You know, if you don't have an Amazon Prime account, you can use someone else's Amazon Prime account to connect to your Twitch account, and you still get one free Prime subscription a month. You can use it here. You can use it on your favorite streamer who might be someone else, but here's the 1-minute ad now. My mom's an anti-vaccine. I'm scared to get the vaccine behind her back so our relationship won't be ruined because she thinks I'll die from it. Yeah, you should do a big reveal and be like, well, I fucking didn't die, Mom. I took the fucking vax and I'm alive. I took the vax and I'm dead now. Remember when Delaney said, pay people for the vaccine, but you feel stupid now saying we should do it? That's right. Delaney was ahead of his time. He's the real progressive candidate. Yeah. Okay. All right. New York Times op-ed. I took the vaccine and now I'm dead. Um, by the way, I mean, the fucking tight part about it is more than half of the adults in the United States have been inoculated with at least one dose of the vaccine. But the daily vaccination rates are slipping, and there is widespread consensus among scientists and public health experts that the herd immunity threshold is not attainable, at least not in the foreseeable future, and perhaps not ever. Instead, they're coming to the conclusion that rather than making a long promised exit, the virus will most likely become a manageable threat that will continue to circulate in the United States for years to come, still causing hospitalizations and deaths, but in much smaller numbers. How much smaller is uncertain and depends on, in part, how much of the nation and the world becomes vaccinated and how the coronavirus evolves. It is already clear, however, that the virus is changing too quickly and the new variants are spreading too easily. And the vaccination process, even in America, is too slow for herd immunity to be reached anytime soon. Vaccinations remain the key to transforming the virus into a controllable threat. Anthony Fauci has said that there is a shift in the experts' thinking. People were getting confused and thinking you're never going to get the infections down until you reach this mystical level of herd immunity, whatever that number is. That's why we stopped using herd immunity in the classic sense. He added, I'm saying, forget that for a second. You vaccinate enough people, infections are going to go down. And, by the way, there's examples of it. Look at fucking California. Oh my God. Look at areas that are absolutely fucking destroying the vaccination process. Areas where people are getting vaccinated are seeing incredible returns. Okay. I don't know what else to show you. Like, I don't know what to say about it. It's just like looking at New Zealand or looking at South Korea or looking at Australia to recognize that measures to control the spread of the virus actually are successful. Measures such as social distancing and mask wearing early on and contact tracing. Okay? It worked. And now vaccinations are working. Just like that. And the same fucking people that refuse to acknowledge that, like, measures to mitigate the spread were successful are now saying, fuck that, vaccines are also unsuccessful, or I'm not going to get it. Anyway. Okay. Do you think that it's smart for a high school from Serbia that wants to be a program? Is it smart to move to LA because of jobs and nice weather? Is it too expensive? Yeah, it's way too expensive. I don't know. I think it's because people are just pussies. They're just afraid of a little needle. I think that's what it is. We should bully people that are afraid of needles this way and don't want to take the vaccine for that reason. How about that? New approach to the situation at hand. Anyway. You're a big tough guy and you're like afraid of a fucking vaccine. Biden wants 70% by July 4th. Oof. 70% of adults to have at least one shot by July 4th. I think it's an attainable goal. The announcement came 2 months from the 4th of July date when the White House will mark a turning point in the pandemic. I don't know how the fuck people can be afraid of like the vaccine or a needle prick, but then aren't afraid of like COVID. I just don't understand it. I don't understand how you can't be afraid of this disease that has killed 500,000 Americans, and that you would rather roll the dice on nature than roll the dice with science in a completely controlled environment. God fucking damn it, dude. Maybe they should have done the vaccines like a fucking Supreme drop, you know? I mean, they kind of did early on. Maybe that's why there were so many people that were like fighting over one another to get one of those vaccines as quickly as possible. The needle, being afraid of needles is a joke. But I'm just fucking joking on that. This is a really funny story too. There's like, apparently there is like a new liberalism that just dropped that my friends on Instagram have been talking about as well on their like stories and shit, where there's like people who are like refusing to not wear, refusing to like take off their masks in public or some shit, where they're like, nah, I'm just gonna still wear it. I'm gonna keep double masking. And I don't know what the fuck's going on there either. Like, what are you guys doing? What's happening, boys? It's just like, listen, if you're fucking vaccinated, like, I mean, I guess if you still want to wear a mask, I guess you're like hyper fucking safe. Fine, but I don't get it. Like, I mean, but I also don't think that this is like a serious problem. And I think that the media is trying to do a both sides type beat here. You know what I mean? The kid I know refuses to go back to college if they require vaccines. I just don't understand. Like, I don't, there's no way in hell that this is a legitimate problem, though. For many purposes, extreme vigilance was in part opposing Donald Trump. Some of this reaction born out of deeply felt frustration. You can still spread it, though. You literally said that the other day, and the CDC says similar. Yeah, no, I know, but the people that are fucking double masked and double vaxxed aren't the people that are most likely to fucking spread it. You can ease up a little bit, okay? If you want to keep wearing the mask, go ahead, but you know, you can fucking chill out a little bit. Yes, you can easily spread it, dum-dum. I mean, guys, the same CDC also said if you're fucking double masked or if you're out in public, out in the open, not inside of a store, and you're double vaxxed, like, you pretty much don't need to fucking wear a mask. Okay? That's the same fucking CDC. I'm still wearing a mask, but that's because I live with someone who has an autoimmune deficiency. I live in Vegas. There's no way I'm walking around outside without a mask with these tourists. Yeah, but the mask... Bro, how are people who are still saying this? Wearing a mask is for other people's benefit, not as much as it is for your benefit, okay? The mask isn't a magical protective barrier that fucking stops COVID from penetrating your body, okay? It can, but it is way, way less effective at, like, shielding you from COVID than it is of like giving other people COVID if you have it. So if the motherfuckers who are anti-maskers who are running around with COVID, then good luck. Like, they are going, that's not the Joe Rogan take. That's literally the take. That has always been the take. Masks don't provide a magical boundary. The reason why we want everyone to wear masks is because a lot of people are asymptomatic carriers and spreaders. That's the fucking take. That's why we want everyone to wear a fucking mask. Because if there are a lot of asymptomatic carriers and they're not wearing masks, they're going to fucking give you a viral load, especially when it's indoors. Especially when you are indoors where this kind of spread most routinely happens. How are we like years into this situation? A year into the situation, people still don't understand it. That's the reason why you want motherfuckers to wear masks. I think a lot of libs love shaming others for not taking precautions and are willing to claim that the vaccines don't work just so they can continue feeling morally superior to others. I'm on the camp where we can start fucking flexing. Like, listen, I think that, and this corresponds to my vaccine passport take too. I think people that are vaxxed up should start fucking flexing and be like, you can't do this if you're not vaccinated. But you can't ever engage in that argument if there is no such thing as like vaccine passport restrictions or anything like that. Like, but I do think, and this was Ryan Grimm's take as well, and I agree with it. I think when Biden addressed the joint session in Congress, it should have been packed to the fucking gills with all vaccinated people, just so they could turn around and be like, this is what you get if you are properly fucking protected. You want to fucking return to normalcy? Here it is. Just put an entire stadium full of vaccinated people watching vaccinated people play a fucking game and be like, you want this shit? You fucking want this shit? The only way to get it is if you get vaccinated. Okay? If you don't get fucking vaccinated, you don't get it. Straight up. Like, I think that's one way to just get people who are on the fence to be like, all right, fuck it, I'll get that. People are anti-vax, literally don't care. They'll just go anywhere maskless in the Midwest. My friend doesn't vote and assume won't be vaccinated. I love him, but not going to reward him by letting him come to my barbecue if he's unvaccinated. Vaccinated only party, shame the unvaxxed. Yeah. That would be terrible elitist optics. I mean, I don't give a fuck, dude. Elitism for what? If it's accessible to everyone, then it's not fucking elitist. That's the difference, boys, okay? If we're talking about a vaccine that is behind a fucking paywall and only rich people have access to it, that's one thing. But if you have a pretty solid distribution strategy that is desperately trying to reach every single fucking person, like the current American vaccination policy has been, for a free vaccine that you can literally get, like you can just walk up right now and get a fucking vaccine, okay? Then how the fuck is that elitist? It is crazy, okay? It is straight up crazy to say it is a fucking elitist, especially when places are also taking the further steps in trying to vaccinate people as best as possible by literally taking it to their goddamn neighborhoods. I don't give a fuck about the optics in that sense. Also, the real fucking elitism is having the opportunity to take a vaccine for free and refusing to take it because you're a fucking hog, dude. Okay? That's the real elitism, that like motherfuckers are dying out on the streets still. Countries are having a hard time returning to normalcy. And we here in the United States have the opportunity to do so. And we're like, nah, fuck that, dude. Nah, I don't want to do it. Fuck it. That's elitism, dude. Not the other way around, okay? I just feel more comfortable with a mask. I also like it as a fashion thing. I just like my colorful mask. Just let people wear it. It ain't hurting no one. No, I don't have a problem with people wanting to wear masks, dude. I don't. In Brooklyn, they literally come up to you and ask you if you have a vaccine in front of clinics. I like wearing a mask, though, even though I'm vaccinated. Like, I would usually get the cold and spread it around like at least once a year. Haven't gotten it during the pandemic. Well, you also probably, your movement is probably severely restricted too because of COVID restrictions, no matter what. So that's part of the reason. The other hilarious side about this is that like they already have immunization requirements in public schools and shit. Like people make it seem like it's 1989 George Orwell Animal Crossing Nintendo to fucking push for immunization requirements when such requirements already exist, but they're unaware of it. So they're like, oh, what the fuck? I didn't know about it, so it never fucking existed. It does exist, dumbass, and for good fucking reason, and you shut the fuck up and you take it. So shut the fuck up and take this vaccine as well. Hold on a second. Sorry, I had to get my real vaccine. My fucking gamer fuel. Okay? Well, sorry, brother. I didn't know that this existed, so it doesn't matter. It's new information to me. That's fucking bullshit, too. Okay? Sad thing is if did that Biden address Congress and the same Republicans were denying the virus with bitch and moan and complain Biden is spreading the virus? Yeah, who cares? Okay, I was at the DMV the other day and a nurse in the hospital across the street came over and shouted to the people in line asking if they wanted free COVID vaccines. The DMV worker chased them away, said no soliciting on government property. Love you, bro, but you're wrong about the mask thing. Hey, the CDC did say masks do protect the wearer too. I didn't say the masks don't protect the wearer guy who is fucking sending an article from November 11th, 2020. I wonder if there was a difference in November 11th of 2020 and right now when nearly more than 50% of the adult population has been inoculated by one fucking vaccine. I wonder if there's a difference. I wonder if there's a difference between now and November 11, 2020. What was I saying in November 11, 2020? I was saying, shut the fuck up and wear a goddamn mask. Now, secondly, I did not say that masks don't protect you from getting COVID. I just said it's not the fucking magical barrier that you think it is. And the efficacy of the mask actually comes from many people wearing it so they actually don't spread it. The protection that you get from wearing a mask from COVID actually impacting you is much smaller in comparison to the protection that you get from other people spreading the piss to you. Okay? Think about the pant pissing argument. It's the easiest way to describe it to people. If someone doesn't fucking wear a mask, or if someone is not wearing pants and they pee and you have pants on, you're still going to get pee on yourself, okay? It's not a good analogy, my boy. It is a good analogy. It's literally one that experts have used, epidemiologists have used to describe it to fucking dumbass baby brain people like yourself. So shut the fuck up. My man said, my boy. Anyway.
Been under development for decades.
Motherfucker said, in that analogy, wouldn't you be giving COVID to yourself? Dude, you already have COVID. If you're pissing, piss is COVID.
I've been saying this.
You've already gotten COVID in that analogy. If you're pissing, that means you have the COVID and you're giving it to someone else. All right, let's hear what Biden had to say. Let's see what Sleepy Joe Biden had to say.
A long time, but I really believe this is not a Democrat or a Republican issue. Science behind the vaccines has been under development for decades. 2 of our vaccines were authorized under prior administrations, Republican administrations. My administration, the Democratic administration, is doing the work to get hundreds of millions of shots in arms. While we may not always agree on everything, this is one thing people across the political spectrum can agree on. So I want to thank prominent conservatives like Mitch McConnell and a large group of Republican members of Congress who've medical training, who have advanced getting vaccinated. I also want to thank the 105 million Americans of every background who are fully protected from one of the deadliest pandemics in our history. You know, there's a lot of misinformation out there, but there's one fact I want every American to know. People who are not fully vaccinated can still die every day from COVID-19. Look at the folks in your community who've gotten vaccinated and are getting back to living their lives, their full lives. Look at the grandparents united with their grandchildren, friends getting together again. This is your choice. It's life and death. And I hope everyone knows within themselves it makes the choice that it's going to help them and their loved ones be safe. Get our businesses open again and get us back to normal.
Why do centrist Dems do so much PR work for Republican hogs? I mean, it doesn't even fucking matter. Like, I don't think it's a big problem. I don't think like, I don't know what the significant issues are of like liberals who are still going over the top with like being overly protective or overly careful. Okay, but I think it's more so just the overcorrective, both-sidist publications that are trying to find something on the liberal end. I mean, it is crazy. Like, if you're double vaxxed and you're still like, I'm wearing masks, I don't give a fuck. Fuck you. Like, I have to wear a mask all the time. Like, all right, cool. Go ahead, go off. I can't believe people still argue about massive vaccines. What happened to science? This is a legit problem in the Bay Area with people who want things to be shut down permanently until COVID is eliminated entirely. I think it's because they want to continue work from home on top of what is outlined in this article. Yeah. Please tell your viewers that if they're 18 plus and want to hide getting the vaccine from their parents, they can just ask their doctor to be marked as uninsured so it won't show up on their parents' insurance if they're still under their parents' plan. The vaccine is still free if you're uninsured. I mean, that's one way that you can do it. Why are you mask shaming? What part of fucking, if you still want to keep wearing masks, go off Kings is mask shaming? I think people just literally want to not look, called it crazy. Yeah, I think it is. I think it is crazy. If you're outdoors, you're double vaxxed, and you're still like, I'm not wearing a fucking mask, you're being a little crazy. I'm talking outdoors, baby. I'm not talking about going into a grocery store. You still need to wear a mask when you're inside. What's your take on places like supermarkets still enforcing masks and vaccinating people, making a fuss about having to still wear one and not wanting to? No, you have to wear a mask indoors. I mean, that's literally the CDC guideline. I said it wrong? Wait, what did I say? You didn't say outdoors? What did I say? Okay, it doesn't matter what I said. You know what I fucking mean. I've said it a million times over, okay? If you're indoors, you still need to wear a mask. That is an understandable precaution because we are not out of this yet, okay? We are not out of this at all. I'm talking about if you're fucking outdoors and outside. That's what I'm talking about. These are the CDC guidelines. I never said never wear a mask indoors if you're fucking double vaxxed. I still wear a fucking mask indoors. What the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, you don't know who the fuck's not wearing. You don't know if some of the mask wearers are not vaccinated or not, or like lying about it or anything like that. Is Ilhan nuts for wearing a head wrap outdoors? Yes, dude. Yes, people who wear hats outdoors are fucking crazy, dude. Like if you wear a veil or a hat, you're fucking nuts, dude. Because wearing articles of clothing is the exact same as like wearing a mask, not for your personal pleasure, but for preventing a pandemic from getting out of control. Thank you. Thank you for finding a way to still make a conversation about the efficacy of certain steps to take to mitigate the spread of a disease into an Islamophobic conversation. Anyway, Sam Cedar went off on Shabiba why he'll wear a yarmulke but not a mask. Yeah, it's great, dude. Well, because it's fucking, it's posturing, dude. First of all, one is purely aesthetic, okay? And it's the same with the fucking veil as well. Like, you want to wear a yarmulke, you want to wear a veil, go off. But like, don't turn around and be like, I'm not wearing a fucking mask in the middle of a pandemic. That's nuts. After everyone's vaccinated, libs are still going to call for mass, similar how vegans protest against meat, like at the Stop and Shop. Okay, well, let's get there and then we'll watch it. How many chatters giving you shit over not wearing masks outdoors actually work for the CDC or epidemiologists? Well, I mean, that's the thing that I fucking don't understand is why people are giving me shit for saying like, if you're double vaxxed and you don't have to, and you You don't have to wear a mask outdoors. Like, why are you mad at me? Be mad at the fucking CDC then. Because that's not my restriction, or that's not me just coming out of nowhere and like making stuff up. That's the fucking CDC's guidelines, dude. It's so strange. The outdoors part was missing from the combo for a while. It was literally never missing from the combo. Shut the fuck up. It was never missing from the combo. I've always specified outdoors. I've always specified outdoors. Literally always specified outdoors. I always say it. You just didn't hear it because you want to find a fucking way to be like, huh, this is still wrong. Anyway, yeah, stop retconning what I've been saying. Okay. What do you mean double vax? Like both doses or both people vax? No, double vax like both doses, and you've waited for 2 weeks after you got your second. I feel like this isn't much of an argument. Isn't the risk, even if you're not vaccinated and not wearing a mask outdoors, extremely low? It's much, much lower. There's still a chance, but that's precisely why the CDC has taken the extra steps and said it, that you can do this, especially if you're double vaxxed up. 2 weeks after the first dose? 2 weeks after the first dose, you have some level of protection. 2 weeks after the second dose, you reach a 90+% efficacy with respect to what will happen if you end up getting COVID. I don't understand how you don't realize the CDC guidelines are literally just about you getting COVID, not you carrying it to others. Dude, that is the fucking most idiotic take I've ever heard in my entire fucking life. Imagine claiming that the fucking agency designed to set rules and regulations around mitigating disease spread crafted actual regulation, not as epidemiologists, like this is literally all they do. They did not consider that fundamental part, that fundamental aspect about what their words, what kind of impact their words might have. That is nearly as insane as some of the shit that I hear from Republicans. Okay? Like, the CDC only wrote the guidelines for individuals not getting COVID and not necessarily individuals spreading COVID is straight up the worst fucking take I've heard today. And I've heard some idiots in the chat so far. Stop ignoring us, J&Jers. Yeah, if you're a J&Jer, you're good. Okay. Yes, the fear is that a single dose still has a super high efficacy rating. However, the fear right now with the single dose on Moderna and Pfizer is that they don't know how long the antibodies will remain, or they don't know how long the protection will remain. Public health agency only concerned with individual people contracting the disease and not about people spreading it makes sense. Yeah, that's a wild take. Could the CDC arm have been twisted to loosen guidelines? No, absolutely not. You can make that argument about local governments. You can't make that argument about the CDC. The reason why you can't make that argument about the CDC is because look at the past year. You think they weren't fucking twisting the CDC's arm for the long. Dude, what you're doing right now is literally what Republicans do, but from the other side. You're saying, I'm skeptical about the CDC's motivations here, and I'm not going to listen to the fucking scientists, and I'm going to be overprotective. Now, ultimately, you being overprotective doesn't have the same kind of negative consequences that Republicans not being fucking protective at all and like literally spreading do. But still, it's ridiculous. Like, you are anti-science, but in the opposite way. I'm just letting you know. Okay, we're moving on. Now, the reason why I started this conversation in the first place was because of what fucking Florida is doing, okay? Yes, the fear is that the one dosers will lose their efficacy in the
CBS this morning. Across the country, millions of Americans are missing appointments for their second vaccine dose. That's according to the CDC. More than 5 million of us, about 8% of appointment takers, had missed their second Pfizer or Moderna doses as of early April. And the CDC says that second shot is critical in helping protect people from the virus. Our Adriana Diaz is at a vaccination site outside Chicago's Wrigley Field. Adriana, good morning to you. What do you see there?
Good morning. Well, Tony, it's not usually this quiet outside of Wrigley, but it's still pretty early. Here's what's happening here. Later this week at a vaccine clinic in this building next to Wrigley, they're going to start accepting walk-ins, so people without appointments, to really encourage people to get vaccinated. But as you mentioned, there are millions of people who are not getting that second dose, and that's creating concern that we're going to lose the ground we've gained against the virus.
39-year-old Danielle Lee is an occupational therapist living in Southern California with her family. At first, she wasn't sure if she'd get the COVID vaccine at all because she says she's had adverse reactions to vaccines in the past.
How did you decide to finally get that first dose when you had your reservations?
It was almost like I guess maybe an emotional decision. I think it was a combination of, people.
She just left her family and is gay now. I'm telling you, don't do it. She left her family. She's doing homosexual sex right now, brother, with other women.
Maybe a little bit peer pressure as well, like you see other people doing it.
She only had mild symptoms after her first Pfizer dose, but she's not sure she'll get her second. She's frustrated after learning she may need a booster and annual shot and is still worried about side effects.
Danielle, are you more afraid of bad reactions to the second dose or possibly getting COVID?
To be honest, I'm more worried about bad reactions to the second dose.
She's not alone. According to a report in the New York Times, the reason people are skipping second shots include issues with second dose appointments, people already feeling protected with just one shot, or if they felt sick after the first dose.
Side effects that last for weeks or months after a vaccine are probably not due to the vaccine. You need to see the doctor and make sure there's not something else going on. What can cause lingering ongoing problems for many, many months is COVID.
Dr. Emily Landon is an infectious disease specialist at the University of Chicago Medicine. She said people are considered unvaccinated until they've had both shots.
In the way that the vaccine is supposed to work is the first shot is sort of like your body being told, here's a picture of a spike protein. This is what you're looking for, and you need to take care of it if you see it. And oftentimes our bodies react the same way that we react, and they say, okay, got it, sounds good. But then the second shot is like a practice run. It's sort of tricks your body and says, here's that spike protein again. And your body jumps into action and it does everything that it needs to do to fight off that spike protein. And that creates that big boost in antibodies that last longer.
What risk is someone taking by possibly not getting the second dose?
Not getting your second shot means you're kind of giving up on your immunity. And you may be at risk for COVID as soon as a few months after that first vaccine. Secondly, you have way lower immunity to all of the variants that are the predominant things that are circulating right now.
If not enough people get the second shot, could we possibly regress? I mean, could we not reach herd immunity? Could we go back to square one or two?
Absolutely. This COVID is not gone.
Danielle's second dose appointment is this Friday, but she's still not sure if she'll go.
Is it going to be a game time decision?
I'll probably, in my mind, tell myself, you can make that decision when you wake up. That way, like, the pressure is off of me.
What if too many people don't get their second dose and we don't stamp out this virus?
Yeah, no, I think that's a very valid concern. And I thought about that and thought, okay, I don't want to be a part of the problem. But I think that's a very valid point that if we all just are kind of half vaxxed, like that's not going to help the situation.
Danielle told us another reason she's hesitant about the second dose is because of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine pause. Even though she got Pfizer, that's still raising concerns for her about safety. Now, Dr. Landon couldn't have reiterated more strongly that
I fucking knew this was gonna happen, dude. As I said already, like as soon as the FDA was like, hold up, we gotta dial it back with this J&J vaccine because of 7 people that got blood clots and 1 died, like I knew that people were going to start using that. I knew that people were going to, or the FDA, sorry. I knew that people were going to use that to be like, nope, not taking my completely different vaccine. I'm just not doing it. So fucking
risk
dumb.
from COVID far outweighs any risk from a rare side effect from one of the vaccines. Anthony?
Yeah, let's underline that, Adriana. Again, thank you. And as we heard Dr. Landon say, you're not fully vaccinated until you've had that second shot. And you can get a kick from it. I felt it. But that's telling you that it's doing its job.
Yeah. And that kick is temporary.
It lasts a day, pretty much. That's it.
And there's no peace.
So here's the thing. So what else happened? Well,
now to the wide.
What happened is now in Florida, now in the state of Florida, the incredible governor, Ron DeSantis, has decided to completely lift all the restrictions, citing science. He said that I'm listening to the scientists, and that's precisely why I'm lifting all restrictions. Now, you might be thinking, what restrictions, motherfucker? What restrictions exist in the state of Florida? Well, not only did he lift all the restrictions, he's also adding additional measures to make it harder for local governments to add area-specific COVID restrictions. For example, if you are like a Democratic local government, and you're worried about the COVID spread, so you decide to add. So you decide to fucking I don't know, engage in indoor mask wearing as a indoor mask wearing in your area, right? And you're doing it because there's additional new cases are rising. Well, Ron DeSantis is like, fuck that. You can only do it for 7 days at a time. And if it goes over a specific amount of time, he can veto it. Like, as a governor, he can veto local governments and the additional restrictions that they want to put with regards to COVID. Which is hilarious because I thought Republicans were all about fucking states' rights. Except for, when they decide, nah, fuck that. We don't want that shit. Now, the other problem with DeSantis' decision is that he urged people to go. He urged people to go and get the vaccine. He said you should get the vaccine. The vaccine is good. But also, I'm also issuing another fucking. I'm also stating that if anyone tries to if anyone tries to enforce vaccine passports, that's not happening. So while he, on the one hand, is saying like, you should get the vaccine, on the other hand, he's like, but if you don't, it's fucking fine. We're not going to do anything. Now, the reason why he's doing that is because he doesn't give a shit if you don't get the vaccine. He literally does not give a fuck. And that's it. It's fucking Florida. Anyway, just get the vaccine. Wink, wink. Now, will it be a gigantic problem? Will it be a gigantic problem in Florida? Well, we don't know. Florida is, I believe, at 40%, which is a little bit lower than the rest, which is lower than the rest of the country in inoculated adults, at least with the first administration of the first dose. So it is lower than the rest of the country. So we'll see what the fuck happens with Florida. We'll keep an eye out. Okay? Ron death sentence. You're such a good little sheepathon tricking all these people with your pro-vaccine agenda. Yes. It is I, the pro-vaccine man, tricking you with my pro-vaccination agenda. He's supposed to need the state legislature to expand executive powers. Maybe they signed a bill at the start of COVID giving him special powers, but he shouldn't be allowed to override local government's authority without the legislature granting him such powers. Well, it's Florida, so who knows? I like that Ron death sentence is funny. I don't support vaccine passports either, though. So even though I hate most Republican policies, I support that move from Texas and Florida. Well, unfortunately for the world, your hatred for vaccine passports is probably shared by a lot of these Republican and even liberal American politicians. So it's probably not going to happen, even though it should. I'm on board with vaccine passports. It should happen in the United States of America. And if you were to tell me, like, well, what about vaccine passports in other countries where there is less access to vaccines, then that's an entirely different conversation. But if we're talking about the United States of America, then yes, I am on board with a vaccine passport. What is this fucking Reddit meme, dude? Oh. This was Bill Gates' plan all along. Vaccinated single women in my area. Yeah. These are horny. These are horny and single moms. They don't want to date. They just want to fuck. And that's what the vaccine does. Jake Paul FaceTiming Trump. Jake Paul FaceTiming Trump is so bizarre that I want to laugh, but Trump is desperate for any platform, and the fact that he's connecting with massive influence with predominantly young audiences absolutely freaks me the fuck out. What the fuck? Dude, that's so sad, dude. Trump is so sad, boys. My man is desperate, dude. He's doing bar mitzvahs. Like, bro, he will literally come to your he will come to your gender reveal party just to pop in. Just to pop in and talk about how the election was stolen from me. Believe me, I promise. It was stolen. It was a stolen election. Down astronomical, dude. Maybe he'll come on the show. Oh, wait. He's fucking literally banned, right? From Twitch. I'd have him on, dude. I'd love to get that. I'd love to get that fucking presidential dumpy on here.
Oh, yeah. Smash. Look at that.
Okay, so Billie Eilish did a fucking photo shoot for a magazine. And of course, us adults have to get angry about it because when a Hollywood celebrity does some shit and it's a slow news week, obviously conservatives are going to get fucking mad about it. Let's watch.
Her middle name is Pirate. By the way, I almost said he.
Really?
I almost said he because I'm so messed up with the pronouns.
She's got so many middle names there. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Pirate was just one of many.
Pirate.
First of all, this is extremely white people shit. Billie Eilish, Pirate Baird O'Connell, okay? But, like, I can't believe white motherfuckers are going to sit around and act like Tucker Buckley Swanson Carlson is, like, normal and then be like, Billie Eilish, Pirate Baird O'Connell. That's crazy. That's some real white people shit right there, dude. That's literally white culture, dude. It's also, I guess I don't know if it's Latin American culture, but it's definitely Hispanic culture as well, and Italian culture too. But it's definitely OP white people shit to just be like, to have like 11 names. How are you going to fucking sit here? How are you going to fucking sit here and, his brother's name is Buckley. It's Tucker Swanson McNear Carlson. Sorry. Like, how are you going to sit here and be like, haha, look at how many stupid names this person has. It's literally the Western civilization that you want to protect.
I almost said he because I'm so messed up with the pronouns.
Oh my God. Oh my God. There's all these pronouns. Like,
Had so many.
that doesn't mean it's not the pronouns that are a problem, you fucking idiot. That's your dumbass brain incapable of holding on to like any thought.
Middle names there. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Pirate was just one of many.
Pirate is one of them. So while we're on the subject of how awful men are and how they're all the abusers, she said this about men, Billie Eilish. She said, I really think the bottom line is men are very weak. Imagine if those roles were reversed. I just think the bottom line.
Got nice little fucking role reversal. Easy, boys, easy. All right. Role reversal. I think it's just so easy for them to lose it.
And is women are really weak. Now, she doesn't say men are really weak. I don't know, maybe just emotionally, or men are weak. And she just says men are weak. Men are weaker than women. And she goes on to say it's just so easy for them.
Oh my God. He's getting mad at this. He's talking about she's talking about self-control. Okay. I think it's just so easy for them to lose it. You expect the dude not to grab you if you're wearing that dress? Seriously, you're that weak? Come on, go masturbate. Like, she's literally talking about self-control. This is like a empathetic approach to why sexual assault happens. Perhaps too empathetic in the way that like literally leftists would get mad at this. You know what I mean? They would say that she's straight up fucking victim blaming in this context. Okay?
For them to lose it, you expect the dude not to grab you if you're wearing that dress. Seriously, you're that weak. Come on, go masturbate. Okay, good. Let me just point out really quickly before we move on to some other points in this article, which I wouldn't care about.
Like, you should be mad at this from a leftist point of view, which is like, oh my God, I can't believe you're saying that sexual assault happens because like men have no self-control, as though like it's just you're trivializing the reasons as to why sexual assault happens and it goes unnoticed, which would be that like the patriarchal construct forces men or teaches men to behave a certain way and be careless about the expectations of women and completely overrides their expectations in any sort of like gender dynamic amongst women and men. Instead of saying all that, like you're just simply saying, you're trivializing it by saying, oh, they're just too weak, just jerk off. If people jerked off more, they wouldn't sexually assault women. That's like what liberals, that's what radlibs would get upset about in this with respect to this quote. I don't even necessarily have a disagreement there. I think that does play a role in it beyond all the systemic and structural problems that I mentioned here. But to get upset at this from a conservative point of view is psychotic because she's not even saying anything that's like crazy. You are literally looking for reasons to be upset at a 19-year-old girl talking about her opinion on sexual assault or harassment in general, proving the fucking point that Billie Eilish was making, that men are weak.
If not for the fact that I have to.
Yeah.
Without men, none of this interview would be possible. So the interview was given to British.
Yo, dude, you are so lame, dude. I love it. This is like when pasty fucking 4chan dipshits will be like, without white men, civilization wouldn't be where it is now. It's like, bitch, you didn't do shit. Shut the fuck up. Is this the only way that you can like justify? Yeah, without women, it wouldn't be possible either, you fucking idiot. What kind of fucking take is that, dude? You need to be thanking men every day of your life. I'm so offended. I'm so offended. What a bitch, dude. God damn. Bitch made motherfucker, dude. Holy shit. Oh, so soft. This is the softest shit I've ever heard, okay? Like, imagine having such a hair trigger that you pop off on an otherwise like completely innocent fucking take. Jesus Christ.
Vogue, obviously a print magazine, printing press, invented by a man, Gutenberg. I don't think Johann Zahn, a man, invented the camera, of course, for the photo shoot.
He went and he Googled. He's like, yo, I'm about to pop off, dude. This is going to be my Aaron Sorkin moment. You know what I mean? He literally went and he fucking Googled the men that have created these profound things. And that's precisely why you have this interview that